Hey there, and welcome back to another edition of the Friday Five. The sun is shining, closings are happening, new inventory is hitting the market, things are looking up. Let's jump into number one, mortgage rates. National averages from Mortgage News Daily. As always, VA 30-year fixed 6.3%, FHA 30-year fixed 6.28%, conventional 30-year fixed 6.9%. Conventional 15-year fixed 6.19%, and then that conventional 7-year ARM that I added 6.45%. So we're slightly better than last week after some weaker job numbers early in this week. Then we had some mixed data in regards to inflation and GDP in the middle of the week. And then we had better non-farms payroll numbers today, meaning better, meaning higher, which actually was negative for rates. We got a little worse today. So it's been kind of a mixed bag of data that's been both good earlier in the week and then kind of bad later in the week, but we're still a little bit better than last week. So net gain or net win. Number two, PHFA State Bond Program offers a program called K-FIT, which provides borrowers with down payment assistance of up to 5% of the purchase price that they can use towards their down payment or closing costs. So really cool program. And then they don't have to make payments on that. That is forgiven 10% a year over a 10-year period. So if you own the house for 10 years, you have to pay nothing back. If you only own it for 5, then you have to pay half of it back. But here's the part I want to get to on this. If you obtain this down payment assistance loan through PHFA, and I'm sure other states have a similar program, then a portion of that is forgiven each year. And guess what? You're going to get a 1099-C, which is a cancellation of debt form from PHFA or whoever the state bond agency is, if it exceeds $600 that is forgiven in a year. And then you need to provide that 1099-C to your accountant, or if you file your own taxes, you need to include it because it's actually considered ordinary income. I know cancellation of debt doesn't sound like it should be considered income, but it is. It's other income on the tax return. So something that I don't think many borrowers who use the K-FIT program are aware of up front, because I don't think a lot of loan originators are aware of it, and they don't tell their customer that that's going to happen. So beware, if you got a K-FIT loan, keep an eye out for your 1099-C. It's still free money, really, if you, for whatever time period you live in the house, but you do have to pay tax on it. Number three, mortgage players. So I'm going to start adding in some of the mortgage people behind the scenes whose names get thrown around, but maybe you as a customer or a real estate agent don't know who they are or what exactly they do. So today we're going to start with who is the underwriter. So a lot of people get scared when they hear that term, underwriter or underwriting. Well, contrary to public opinion, the underwriter is not some scary monster sitting in a dark room just trying to find ways to make life miserable for everyone that's involved in the transaction. In reality, the underwriter is the person responsible for evaluating the risk of lending money to a home buyer and ensuring the lender has all required documentation to show that the borrower meets the product guidelines. In a transaction, best case is that the underwriter touches the file 2 times. Once at initial approval, when they issue the commitment letter or the initial loan approval, and then the second time when they issue the clear to close or the final approval. And in my experience, the best underwriters know the guidelines inside and out. They communicate and work well with our internal team, the processor, the loan originator, and the closer, and they're super detail-oriented problem solvers who work well within that team collaboration environment. Big picture, the underwriter is the person who reviews the documentation and approves the loan. Number 4, what is the LTV? So we use acronyms a lot in the mortgage business. So LTV stands for loan to value, which is loan to value ratio actually, and it's the percentage of the loan amount divided by the lesser of the purchase price or the appraised value. So if you're buying a house and the purchase price is $500,000, you put $100,000 down, you borrow $400,000, then your loan to value ratio is $400,000 divided by $500,000, which is 80%. And number 5, the lesson of the week. So no quote. I guess there's an idea I'll tie into this, but this is really a lesson I learned over the past couple weeks. And it comes from a couple of different instances where people said something negative about me to someone else. I heard this through the grapevine, and I think it was kind of unfounded in both cases. I certainly am not perfect. I make mistakes, but I'm not sure it was really justified in either case. But it was a little discouraging, and I try pretty hard in my professional life, my personal life, to do things the right way, to treat people the right way. I certainly do not get it right every time, but I was discouraged by it a little bit, and I guess the second part of it, or the first part of it, was that I have not read this book, Let Them, by, what's her name? Hold on. Mel Robbins, that's her name. I have not read the Let Them book by Mel Robbins, but I think I kind of understand from what I've heard about the philosophy, and it's just that you can't always control, or you generally can't control what other people think or say about you, so let them. Don't be too worried about it, which I'm pretty good at that most of the time, but reputation is super important to me, so it does bother me a little bit when someone says something negative about me. Secondarily, I work really hard to have a good reputation within my professional life and within my community, and maybe I was getting a little too high on my horse with how others looked at me, and God has a way of humbling us when we need it. So maybe that was part of it too, that, hey, I don't walk on water, only one did, or I guess technically maybe 2 did. You have to read your Bible to figure that one out. But yeah, that was the lesson from this week. 2 parts of it. Let them. People are going to say what they're going to say, but also I certainly am not perfect, and there are areas in my life where I can improve and handle things better. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great weekend. If I can help you in any way, please reach out.